What's up guys, and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be doing Kubernetes CIS benchmark analysis. It's another scenario from Kubernetes Goat. This is the 6th scenario, and let's just get into it. So let's first read the overview. By the way, if you don't know what CIS benchmarks is, it's just basically a configuration standard put together by some cybersecurity professionals, and is basically designed to help organizations basically harden up their cybersecurity, harden up their digital assets, stuff like that. So it's some configuration type stuff. So let's just get into it. The overview. This scenario is useful in performing Kubernetes security audits and assessments. Here we will learn and run the popular CIS benchmark audit for the Kubernetes cluster, and use this results for further exploitation or fixing of the misconfigurations and vulnerabilities. This is very important and mandates if you're coming from an audit and compliance background in the modern world of containers, Kubernetes, and cloud native ecosystem. So it's just a little diagram on basically how this works. Basically you see the CIS benchmark basically gets a configs, gets a file system and stuff like that, so access the API. So yeah, and we're going to be using a Kubernetes job to run the CIS benchmark, so that's pretty cool. So by the end of the scenario, we'll basically learn how to perform a CIS benchmark audit for Kubernetes clusters, working with jobs, pods in Kubernetes and other resources in the cluster, gain visibility of the entire Kubernetes cluster security posture, and understand the risks of it all. So this is the story. This scenario is mainly to perform Kubernetes CIS benchmark analysis on top of Kubernetes codes, nodes, and cluster resources to identify the possible security vulnerabilities. So to basically get started with this scenario is basically these are both YAML files that we have to apply. So this will create a node and a master. So copy this and make sure your pods are running, and let's just get into it. So to get started with this scenario, basically we need to deploy the Kubernetes CIS benchmark jobs. We can do that by using the following commands here. So just copy those and go into your attacking machine and I guess paste that in. So paste it in, make sure you're in the right directory, and it says the kube bench node has been created, and do the same with the other one. Paste that in, and we see that's also been created. So now what we can do is just basically kubectl get pods to see if they're creating, and we see the containers are creating. This won't take a lot, it will just take around like 10-20 seconds, so just be a bit patient there, and do kubectl get pods again, and we see they have completed. Because it's a job, it will be completing instead of it's a node, and instead of it's a pod. So now we can do kubectl get pods if they have completed their jobs, and we see they have here. So now we basically just need to get the logs of these pods of the jobs that we have set them to do. So do kubectl logs tag F for the kube bench node, and now we see here we've basically got all of the logs. So now what we can basically do is just go through them and see which of them which configurations have passed, have failed, or they're either giving us a warning that something could be outdated. So we can use this for exploitation, or we can use this basically to restrict and upgrade these misconfigurations. So that's basically this scenario. We have finished them now based on the vulnerability, stuff like that. So basically the goal here was to perform Kubernetes CIS benchmark audit and obtain results, and which we have just done there. So pretty simple video, and that was basically how to cover Kubernetes CIS benchmark analysis.